Hello everyone, Republic Jim here. I am back working on some refinements on my handcart, which unfortunately I last used in November of last year when I did an overnight camp out where it snowed a little bit. I didn't have a chance to use it at all during this summer, but that didn't stop me from thinking about ways to improve it. And as you can see, if you saw my previous video on the handcart, the major difference is having mountain bike wheels on there instead of the smaller rigid or solid wheels, and also getting rid of the 2x4 that I had going across. Now I have my ratchet strap just attaching directly into the rim of the sled there, so takes away the need to have that spacer to keep the top from getting compressed. So that should make it a lot nicer for both for loading stuff in and if I want to sleep in it. I'm going to need to replace this handle because in the course of being stored for the winter, it warped badly, so it's not very good. And this one, I've taken some of the bark off so far just with the pocket knife, but I'm going to take my draw knife to it and completely debark the rest of that and shave it down just a bit to make it a more comfortable diameter, something more like this one. And I'll have to get another pole there that I can use for that. So I'm going to just flip this up. And you can see now that I changed up the mounting method on the bottom and went with a wider board there to distribute the weight a little better instead of the 4x4 that I had before. And then I have those brackets that are bolted on there, and then the bike rims just bolted to it. It's not perfect, but I think I'm on the right track anyway. One thing I did find is I thought that bracket was going to be heavy enough, but if I put much force on the tire there, it does bend right at the 90. So they had a identical bracket to that, except it was like twice as thick, which I was thinking would be overkill, but obviously not. So I'm going to have to get those and swap them out. Now, ideally, it'd probably be better if I had forks from the front of a bike on both of those, and just to distribute the weight to both sides of the wheel instead of just on the one side there. But I think should work for now. As I said, not ideal, but I'm still working on improving things. And currently these tires are totally flat because they came off of bikes that have been sitting around for years. So I'll have to pump them up and see if they even hold air. But even if they don't, it's still functional for this use, I think, because you know the old wheels on there were just solid rubber tires, and they work fine for rolling around. It's not like I'm doing any high speed with this cart. So yeah, once I get the handle replaced there and try to put some air in the tires, should be relatively functional. And then when I get those brackets replaced, make it stronger, then it'll hold up a lot better to moving around. But starting to resemble a rickshaw. And I think just as a matter of common sense, I'm going to take along a tire pump and a couple of wrenches and spare lug nuts and stuff for this thing, just in case, you know, because I can easily haul that stuff when I'm hauling other stuff around in my cart. And then eventually, what I'm thinking is I would like to replace these DIY handles here with something a little bit better. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. I'm thinking possibly telescopic fiberglass handles, like for for a painting roller or something like that. Ones where I can shrink them down to where they're just barely past the end of the cart, or I can extend them all the way out. So that would make a lot handier for storage. But that might be too expensive for my taste. So otherwise, I might just see about getting some metal pipe or some plastic conduit or something of the sort, heavy enough to work okay for that, and just replace those handles with something that's not going to warp. But we'll see. But for right now, it's just about ready to take out in the field and give it a try again. So I am looking forward to making use of this on another camp out, and we'll see how that one goes. But that's it for now. This has been Republic Jim. I'll talk to you later.